Welcome back to Big Bris TV. I was just shooting the video on the shirts when this came. You already saw the thumbnail, so you know what this is. So let's just get in there and unbox it. And if you haven't seen the video with the shirts, I'll link it at the end of this video and in the description. 2 unbaggings today. Yearn Shoemaker. This is the Oxford 338 on the Y03 last in size UK 12. Man, my box came intact. That was the one thing I was afraid of. Everybody was unboxing these with their boxes all busted up. And I love my shoe boxes. And my box is all but perfect. So let's get in there. Alright, so wow. Tweed cloth with the herringbone pattern that continues on to the shoe bags, and that's it. All right, let's get into the shoes. I smell it. Wow. 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 It's a lightweight shoe. Look at that sole. Should I lick it? Tastes polishy. Okay, wow. Look at that. This shoe is, I can't get over how light it is. Look at that heel. Let's get the other one out. Wow, yeah, that's nice. See, now look down in there. You can see the hand welting. That is the insole, which is attached to the outsole via the welt. And then you have this rear sock liner here. That's my iron telling me it's about to shut down. Wow, it's a nice pitch on the heel. Not as drastic as the Blackbird, but these are subtle. But that heel, oh my goodness. This is the type of sole that you just don't want to even walk on. I mean, wow. Some nice flat laces. It's got a little scuff there, but I'm pretty sure that's from transit. And it looks like these are like it's like a museum appointment on the leather. It's not as pronounced in real life as it is under this bright light, just like the blue Blackbird shoes. But speaking of those, I actually wore them out, and then I did put a layer of black shoe polish on it, but they're still very, very bright blue. But I'm not mad at that at all. But I said I was going to put these two head to head to show the differences in the hand welting. So already you saw down inside this one where you could see the handwork or evidence of the handwork. Whereas in this one, it's covered. And actually, as an update, I had to take those extra memory foam sole inserts and cut it in half and put it inside, so that it could raise up my heel, because the edge here was kind of cutting into my heel. If you notice, if you put these two side by side here, you can see there's a big difference. So with the Blackbird being about 2 3/4 inches, and then the Yearn from the same area about 2.5, I want to say, all right, inches. So it's significantly lower here, and so I'm optimistic that these aren't gonna dig into my ankle. Yeah, man. And then as far as when I was talking in the previous video about hand welting, I needed this shoe to show this. A hand welted shoe and a hand outsoled shoe, which these are, they're allowed to get much closer in the waist area here. You don't even see any stitches here in the waist. right? On the inside or the outside. It just, the waist just disappears. And look how narrow this is. I mean, the narrowest waist that I've had to date, or thus far, has been on the TLB's Artista line. Look at that. That's about 2 1/4 inches. On the Blackbird, it's about 2 5/8 inches. And on the TLB Artista, just over 2 3/8 inches. So that's incredible. I mean, for TLB to have done this with a Goodyear welted sole, as you can see with the TLB with the Goodyear welt on the inside here, they still have the stitching is visible, just barely so. What they probably had to do was squeeze the shoe leather so that the knife that comes down and makes the perforations for the stitch doesn't cut into the leather here. And then here on the outside, it's the same sort of treatment, that extremely narrow waist. And speaking of this TLB shoe, I've worn through to the stitches on the front and on the sides. So I'm probably going to be sending these to TLB for refurbishment. So let me know in the comments if you're interested in seeing that, a before and after. This is going to be the before of the TLB I wore completely through. And what you want to look for on your shoes, there's a split, right? I used to think that this was 2 pieces of leather stacked on top of each other like a double sole, but that's not true. The top part is the welt. The bottom part is the outsole. So this is just a welt going around the shoe, right? And then there's cork between the insole and the outsole. So when you see this line here, you can see your welt, and then you can see the outsole. On the high wear areas, for some people, it's right here on the corner, on the toe, and on the inside. If you wear your shoe through all the way up to the welt, you're getting into dangerous territory, because now you get into a spot where if you want to get these resoled, they may have to touch the welt to do some stuff. Another way to show that is right here at the heel, right? So when you wear your heels down, right, you can pretty much see the different stacks of leather on a really good, well-made shoe. It's funny how I picked this one up, right? You can see the stacks of leather that they use. When you wear through this rubber part and you start getting into the stacks of leather, now they have to do more than just replace the top lift. When you go get these repaired, that's going to cost you more money. So just keep that in mind. So look out for a repair video on my trusty TLB Mallorca. With the Blackbird, while they do say that these are hand welted, I doubt this is a hand outsole, even though on their press video they show a shoe being hand welted, but then at the end of the video they say it was Goodyear welted, so it's kind of confusing. And since they use this 360 welt, this is probably why they said, hey, we're gonna have to bevel this heel because of the 360 welt. So they had to pitch it, you know, to make it look, you know, a little more sleek, which I'm not mad at. This is a really good looking shoe, and they still managed to pull off a slim waist. So if I was going to give any notes to Blackbird, 1, make this a little lower. 2, if you could, and this is just aesthetic, if you could trim some of the material off on the outside here, on the inside here, maybe not even on the inside, outside, but maybe on the inside, because if you could see here where the leather is collapsing, that's where there wasn't really a good fit. So here's the ball joint, my bunion, the bunion part of your foot. I don't know what you call the bone, the bunion, that you know drops here. It fits my foot good and everywhere else, but there's extra space here, and where that can be accounted for or taken up is right on the insole here. So for instance, with the TLBs, this has a tree in it, but still there's not a lot of wrinkling here because the arch part juts in so much more, right? It just disappears so much more than the Blackbird, which when you turn the shoe, you can still see it with the TLB, you turn the shoe and it just disappears. Look at the Yearn, right? That's incredible. That's incredible. When you see how much shoe you can see here on the inside when you turn it upside down. The amount of support. And it's more than just getting that feminine hourglass shape, you know, and making your shoes look borderline feminine, you know. It's just a sexy shoe, but it also offers some arch support. And this is why I'm guessing people, especially people with foot problems, they will pay the extra money to get a shoe that fits them like a glove. Speaking of which, let's get these on the hoof. Whoosh. Yes, they already feel good. I went in there easily. It's so thin. Okay, so let's get the first bend. Man, it's almost a shame to have walked on these just now. I like the nails on the toe detail. Again, with these trees, man. This is a beautiful shoe. These laces are so delicate. I mean, I've never had, they're like almost like ribbons. The fit and the feel, wonderful on these. And again, the modeled look, the museum look. Every museum shoe I get, for whatever reason, I never keep. I had some custom Alfred Sargent Miltons that I had, and I ended up getting rid of those for whatever reason. I just never wore them. And then my TLBs, got rid of those. These are gonna be a keeper though. I mean, they definitely. Adelaide with the pinking, goes all the way around. Like I was saying with this one, the pinking kind of just stops, is minimal. Guess that makes the shoe a little dressier. Beautiful shoes. Second pair of hand-welted shoes. That was my quick review on the Yearn 338, which is these this Adelaide in this museum calf color. It's really not this pronounced. It's much darker than it's showing up here. I know I keep saying that, but to get a good video, I gotta use this light. Hey, that's neither here nor there. That's the way it's gonna look out in the sun. Hey, if you like what you saw in this video, hit the thumbs up. If you didn't like what you saw, still hit the thumbs up and subscribe. I do stuff like this all the time in my channel. Check out that video with the Brisk Shirts. Check out my other video on these $150 hand-welted shoes from Blackbird. Check out my video on 5 pairs of TLBs, before and after a little TLC. And also look for the upcoming video when I get these resoles. Hey, everybody stay well, and I'll catch you on the next one.